hot insights into the new Jurassic World movie, wild rumors about the story of Spider-Man 4, the next Sonic the Hedgehog sequel, and in Scream 7, a legend returns after all. This set of news are really something. Moreover, we have the first info on Barbie 2 and a more than strange announcement for Spider-Man Beyond the Spider-Verse. All of this and more awaits you now in this video. Although the theatrical release of Spider-Man 4 is still a long way off, the rumors are buzzing. This time, Hollywood insider Jeff Sneider is the source, and he's sharing several pieces of information about the upcoming blockbuster in his newsletter. According to this, Charlie Cox will return to his role as Matt Murdock, aka Daredevil. After a brief appearance in Spider-Man No Way Home, he's set to play a bigger role this time. A common opponent would be Wilson Fisk, known as Kingpin, played by Vincent D'Onofrio. In the upcoming series Daredevil Born Again, he runs for the office of New York's mayor, a scenario that would be perfect for a Spider-Man and Daredevil cooperation. Another rumor revolves around the appearance of the symbiotes, which fans know from the Venom movies, for example. These alien creatures could play a bigger role in Spider-Man 4. While a fight between Tom Holland's Spider-Man and Tom Hardy's Venom seems unlikely at the moment, a new host could come into play. It's possible that Peter might even come into contact with the Black Mass, similar to how it was with Tobey Maguire in Spider-Man 3. The theory also fits quite well because it could pick up on the end of No Way Home, in which a piece of the symbiote remains in Peter's world. Furthermore, after Venom: The Last Dance, many are hoping for an appearance of the symbiote god Null in the next Spider-Man movie. For fans of Peter Parker's great love MJ, on the other hand, there's a setback. Zendaya is only supposed to play a small role in Spider-Man 4. After all, the actress also has Dune 3 Messiah on the schedule, among other things. The reduced presence of MJ makes perfect sense after all. She can no longer remember Peter after the events of Spider-Man No Way Home. The filming, directed by Shang-Chi director Destin Daniel Cretton, was originally scheduled for last fall. However, the start of shooting was repeatedly delayed, and the current target is fall 2025. Thus, it's also starting to become increasingly unlikely that the current official theatrical release date of Spider-Man 4 on July 24, 2026 can be maintained. With Jurassic World Rebirth, the popular dinosaur franchise is finally returning to the big screen. Entertainment Weekly has now published a series of new images from the blockbuster. This way, we can get a glimpse of the actors Scarlett Johansson, Jonathan Bailey, Mahershala Ali, and Rupert Friend in a jungle-like environment. Directed by Gareth Edwards, Jurassic World 4 is set to return to the series' roots. This means real locations, a fresh story, and new faces in the leading roles. The film was shot in different locations, including Thailand. According to Edwards, the geographical diversity, from dense mangrove swamps to rivers teeming with life, provided the perfect backdrop for a dinosaur movie. But the shooting was not without its dangers. Edwards talks about poisonous water snakes and giant spiders that regularly surprise the team. The plot of Rebirth takes place 5 years after the events of Jurassic World Dominion. The prehistoric fauna are beginning to become extinct again, except for a small region in the tropics. The last dinosaurs have gathered there, and their genetic characteristics hold potential for modern medicine. The main roles are played by Scarlett Johansson as Zora Bennett, a former CIA agent, Mahershala Ali as her loyal ally Duncan Kincaid, and Jonathan Bailey as paleontologist Dr. Henry Loomis. The three characters form a dynamic trio that the director compares to the group of heroes in Steven Spielberg's Jaws. Edwards emphasizes that the new movie is intended to recapture the essence of Spielberg's Jurassic Park. While the previous films relied increasingly on computer graphics, this time the focus is on real effects and classic suspense elements. Jurassic World 4 will be released in theaters on July 2nd, 2025. Sonic the Hedgehog 3 has not even hit the theaters yet, and distributor Paramount Pictures is already dropping the bombshell. Sonic 4 is coming, and already in spring 2027. As reported by industry magazine Variety, of course, nothing is yet known about a possible plot for the next sequel. But obviously, the people in charge continue to believe in the potential of the series. The first two parts grossed a total of $725.2 million worldwide and generated over $180 million from home entertainment distribution and digital sales. The popularity of the films also led to a spin-off series called Knuckles on Paramount Plus, which was released earlier this year. And Sonic 3 also seems to be a huge success again. A box office result of $55 to $60 million in North America is expected for the opening weekend alone. Jeff Fowler directed all 3 Sonic films. In Sonic the Hedgehog 3, Jim Carrey returns as Dr. Ivo Robotnik, Sonic's arch-enemy. Carrey plays a dual role in Part 3, also playing Ivo's grandfather, Gerald Robotnik. But this time, Shadow, originally voiced by Keanu Reeves, is also at the center of the action. With the knowledge of Sonic the Hedgehog 4, Part 3 might now even attract more moviegoers than it would have initially. The cast of Scream 7 seems to be developing in a great direction. In addition to Neve Campbell, another original of the slasher series is returning, Courteney Cox. As reported by Variety, the actress will once again play the role of the sharp-witted reporter Gale Weathers, a character who has played a central role in the series since the first installment in 1996. In September, Cox had still been hesitant in an interview, but now everything seems to be wrapped up. Cox was particularly enthusiastic about the return of Kevin Williamson, who wrote the script of the first Scream movie and will take over the role as director this time. Quote, "You couldn't make a better choice." Mason Gooding also returns as Chad Meeks Martin alongside Courteney Cox. We'll also see Isabel May as Sidney Prescott's daughter. Madam Web actress Celeste O'Connor is also on board, along with Asa Gurman and McKenna Grace. Scream 7 will hit the theaters on February 27, 2026. With worldwide box office takings of over $1.4 billion, the live-action film adaptation of Barbie last year was a huge success. So there have been speculations about a sequel for a long time, and now it seems the first ideas are emerging. The creators of the film, Greta Gerwig and co-writer Noah Baumbach, had emphasized from the outset that a strong idea had to be the basis for a second part. According to an article in The Hollywood Reporter, they now seem to have found what they're looking for. Warner Brothers is still keeping a low profile, but insider sources report that the duo had submitted a pitch for Barbie 2 to the studio. Although there's no official confirmation yet, a potential sequel is likely to face some challenges, both creatively and organizationally. Margot Robbie, who did not only shine as Barbie but was also behind the project as a producer, and Ryan Gosling as Ken, are just as much in demand as Greta Gerwig herself. The latter is currently working on an ambitious remake of The Chronicles of Narnia for Netflix, among other things. The film adaptation of the hit musical Wicked is currently thrilling fans around the world, and it's already grossed over $500 million. And Part 2 awaits us next year, which now comes with a new title, Wicked for Good. The new title is more than just a name change. It's full of meanings and allusions. Literally, it stands for the good things and how the witches really are, but it can also mean once and for all or forever. This linguistic ambiguity provides an exciting contrast to the title Wicked, which refers to the evil witch Elphaba. At the same time, the title also refers to the song of the same name, For Good, from the second half of the musical. Here, Elphaba and Glinda sing about how their friendship has had a lasting impact on their lives. The decision to split the musical into 2 movies was inspired in part by the song Defying Gravity. Songwriter Stephen Schwartz explained that the song was written specifically to close a curtain call. Any subsequent scene that would have directly followed this moment without an intermission would have been quite anticlimactic. The sequel will pick up from the end of the first movie and continue to explore the complex relationship between Elphaba and Glinda. In addition, Cynthia Erivo, Ariana Grande, Michelle Yeoh, and Jeff Goldblum, for example, will return in their roles. The finale will be released in cinemas on November 21st, 2025. The hotly anticipated finale of the Spider-Verse trilogy has found its directors. Bob Persichetti and Justin K. Thompson are taking over the creative direction of Spider-Man Beyond the Spider-Verse. Bob Persichetti was already one of the directors of the Oscar-winning movie Spider-Man: A New Universe. Justin K. Thompson, on the other hand, played a crucial role as production designer. In an interview with Deadline, the 2 filmmakers expressed their delight at the project. Quote, "We have been very privileged to be a part of Miles' journey from the beginning, and to direct the conclusion of his story is more than exciting." Joining Persichetti and Thompson are numerous familiar names from the Spider-Verse team, including producers Phil Lord, Chris Miller, and Amy Pascal. And of course, Shameik Moore, Haley Steinfeld, Oscar Isaac, and Jake Johnson are also returning as cast members. Now, Sony's announcement of the directing team may come as a surprise to many fans. After all, the theatrical release was originally scheduled for spring 2024 and was then quietly ignored. And actually, we assumed until now that production had been well underway at full speed for many months. So either they've been waiting to reveal the directors for whatever reason, or there are a lot more problems going on behind the scenes that we previously suspected. Although the plot of Beyond the Spider-Verse is being kept under lock and key, expectations are high. The first two parts of the trilogy were a huge success, both commercially and artistically, grossing a total of over $1 billion at the box office for Sony Pictures Animation. A New Universe won the 2019 Academy Award for Best Animated Film, while Across the Spider-Verse became the studio's highest-grossing animated film to date. However, the release date for Part 3 has not been announced to date. Guy Ritchie is undoubtedly one of Hollywood's most prolific directors. After the Ministry of Ungentlemanly Warfare, we now have the star-studded Fountain of Youth, which is already served with the first impression in the form of images. The cast, consisting of John Krasinski, Natalie Portman, and Eiza Gonzalez, can be seen as archaeologists who apparently just stumble across an artifact. According to Entertainment Weekly, Fountain of Youth centers on the estranged siblings Luke and Charlotte Purdue, who embark on a joint search for the legendary source of youth. Guy Ritchie describes the movie as a family-friendly adventure in the style of Indiana Jones, but contemporary. Filming took place in exotic locations around the world, from the vastness of the Egyptian desert to the bustling streets of Bangkok. Natalie Portman described the production as the most fun you could ever have. The screenplay was written by James Vanderbilt, author of Zodiac and The Amazing Spider-Man with Andrew Garfield. The film is set to be released next year via Apple TV+. Finally, a small note on our own behalf. Get the KinoCheck app now. It keeps you up to date on everything cinema and streaming news, gives you the latest trailers anytime, anywhere, and lets you know exactly what's on at the moment. All this and more in the new KinoCheck app. Now it's your turn. What do you think about this news? Is Jurassic World 4 moving in the right direction by taking guidance from Jurassic Park 1? And what kind of story would you want for Spider-Man 4? We look forward to your comments and wish you a wonderful holiday season.